Chapter 5, Red. "This is insanity," said a man with one ear, eye patch over his right eye, short brown hair, scar on his cheek, missing pinky finger, and holding two green glowing swords. "What is this thing? It's unrelenting. Fission, what can we do? We've been battling this thing for days." "Klemo, what else can we do?" came the voice from the swords. "We should do what I was forged to do. Fight!" The man stood inside of a room, staring out of a 6-story building window into a vast city. All across the city, chaos dominated. Some buildings were on fire. Others were drowning in thick, murky water. Water gushed out of the air itself. "Those portals are all over the city. One of them could just appear even behind me at any moment." A dozen purple luminescent since this thing began 4 days ago. Fission, we needed more than just fight. Their backs turned. Throughout the streets, Klemo witnessed people who looked exactly like himself battling things coming out of the scattered portals. "The other Klemos struggle every bit as hard as you do," Fission the sword said. "I did not imply that they do not. The thing, whatever it is, has us trapped in the city. We can still teleport, as all Klemos can, but we can't teleport out of the city," Klemo said. Looking further in the distance, Klemo saw, cast over the city, a thing that could only be described as a dark purple shroud. The shroud covered the entire sky, looming over the city of Klemo. An alarmed Klemo quickly turned away from the window, raising his swords. His psychic senses picked up something. A tingling sensation notified him. "Wake up! It's here!" 3 other Klemos jumped up from their sleep. Klemos give each other nicknames to distinguish one another. "Twinkle!" Klemo turned to a companion that held 2 yellow daggers. "I need you to cover above and below. Gray!" He turned to a female Klemo warrior holding her blades at the ready. "You cover the right and left. Magic!" He turned to the final Klemo who wielded no weapon, his hands illuminated with magic, ready to attack. His robes torn from the days of battle they had endured. Cover behind us. I'll take the front. The room lit up from a dozen purple luminescent portals opening simultaneously. The 4 had their backs to each other, but gave one another enough room to maneuver around. Grayish-purple tentacles burst through every portal, their slimy suction cups puckered, ready to grab any Klemo that wiggled about, randomly moving. Twinkle jumped up, slicing the ones above in a single swoop, followed by teleporting to the floor to slice the ones below. Gray threw her blades into the ones on the left with accuracy. She teleported the blades into the ones on the right. The Klemo with green swords sliced at the ones in front. The swords sliced with ease. That particular portal closed. Magic blasted the ones behind with channeled arcane power. The damaged tentacles retracted and the portals closed. Everyone slumped down to the ground. Did anyone else try to figure out their destination?" Gray asked. "I tried, but my ability to detect is being scrambled or negated somehow," Magic said. The other 2 nodded their agreement. "Me too," said one. "Same," replied the other. "Junior, it's my turn now," Twinkle said, standing up. The Klemo with the eye patch and missing ear nodded his head. "Yes." "How long did we have that time?" Magic asked. Junior shook his head. 45 minutes at the most. "You 3 rest, after which we move on and find other Klemos," Twinkle said. No one said another word. The 3 sat with their backs to each other, legs crossed, weapons laying in front of their feet, and meditating. Twinkle stared out the window the same way that Junior did. The next hour became tense. He kept his daggers at the ready. His psychic senses constantly detected portals opening all across the city. Every Klemo is fighting for their very lives, and here we are just resting. We should fight alongside our brothers and sisters. The dagger's yellow glow brightened. You need to rest, and you will be utterly useless without it. You've been fighting for days now. He didn't reply. The man accepted the reality of his weapon's words. The experienced teleporter stared out the window and noticed two rogue Klemos fighting against the portals that surrounded them. Klemo, the dagger said, I know you want to help them, but you have a duty to watch over your resting comrades. You were too weak to help those two. You need to conserve your strength. Twinkle tightened his grip on his weapons. I could do both, he gritted through his teeth. Klemo prepared a portal to thrust his fist in to assist. Before he finished calculating, the two troubled Klemos dropped to the ground from an unseen assailant. The purple glow on the portals turned red. The portal shut like a hot knife slicing the calamari. The severed tentacles flopped to the ground, still wiggling about with a dying life all of their own. Twinkle stopped his portal creation. His eyes widened with surprise. What is that? I do not know, but we need to be careful. With the hive mind down, we have no way of communicating with the other Klemos, the dagger said. Klemo looked back down to the street. The Klemo bodies vanished. The tentacles stopped flopping and were lifeless. He detected an incoming teleport, but just a singular one, not the portals like the attacks. He considered waking up the others, but raised his weapon instead to meet this singular threat. He spun around, anticipating the arrival of a foe or friend, yet saw nothing new in the room. Twinkle felt a slight wind past him from an unseen source in the middle of the room. A teleport happened, but there's nothing here, Klemo said to his weapons. We've seen many things. This could be anything, the weapons replied. Klemo raised his daggers to defend himself. He swung an arc just above his head. The clang of steel was heard. A small spark struck in the process. For a brief instant, the intruder was seen floating just above him when their blades made contact. From the split-second look, only red, indistinguishable clothing along with fiery red eyes were visible. Klemo felt the intruder back away. Very good, the intruder said. Most other Klemos are terrible at combat. Who are you? Why are you attacking my city? Klemo shouted to his unseen foe. Normally, it's next to impossible to get to any of you. With all of this happening, you are easy pickings. His voice echoed, making his location impossible to discern. You didn't answer my question. The intruder's laughter faded away. Klemo detected a teleport, knowing that whoever or whatever that was has left. Twinkle leaned back on the window frame, returning his gaze out to his city. He made no facial expression as he resumed his duty to guard his resting comrades. Later. So you're saying that the source of this whole attack has come here? Junior asked. I don't know, Twinkle answered. What did it look like? Gray asked. It was invisible. That invisibility wore off only for a brief instant. It had the voice of a man, the shape of a man, the clothing of a man, but the eyes of a demon, Twinkle said. I fought more demons than you three, Junior began. Were the eyes glowing red or plain red? Glowing, Twinkle confirmed. That is probably demonic possession, Junior added, his head in agreement as his own conclusion. And since they can teleport, we are safe to assume that it was a Klemo. The only thing that makes no sense is motive. He wants Klemo. I saw him attack two of our brothers on the street down there, Twinkle pointed out the window down to the street. Why, though? Magic asked. Because we're a threat to all demons. Jason and Alvaro, as we speak, killing demons all throughout the abyss. If they ever needed help, they would come to us first, Junior said, holding the blade out at a ready gesture. I suppose that makes sense, Magic said, shrugging his shoulders. Now that you're all caught up, Twinkle said, standing straight up, stretching his arms, we have a lot of work to do. Twinkle and Gray pulled out their weapons. They all looked at each other to confirm they were prepared. No one argued. No words took place, save a single word for magic. The armory. With that, the four vanished from sight, teleporting away. The wind swirled from the instant void of matter within the room. Papers and debris breezed around the room. The armory. The four Klemos materialized into a dark room. The glow of their weapons and the glow of Junior's, plus Gray's eyes, was the only thing visible. Their enchanted eyes granted them the ability to see in the dark, as well as many other magical forms of sight. Chocolates! Magic snapped his fingers. The area around the four was illuminated from the spell. The green light illumination allowed them to see roughly 30 feet in all directions. The hallway they occupied had nothing special. Both ends of the hallway spanned too far to see what could be in their path. This way, Twinkle said as he pressed through the hall. They did not travel far before entering a room. Twinkle stepped in first. Dagger hurled his direction. Twinkle's natural quick reflexes activated automatically. His body traversed space, disappearing from sight and instantly reappearing 2 feet to his left. The dagger harmlessly bounced off of the wall, falling to the floor. The other three rushed into the room. Twinkle looked to the other end of the room where the dagger was thrown. Sitting on a thrown chair that could not have been part of this room prior to the invasion was a man in red, sleeveless robes. His hair was short and brown. His face held that familiar look that all Klemos had. The arms of this man were covered in strange tattoos that periodically glowed seemingly random colors. At first, the sigil arm tattoos glowed red, matching his robes. The Klemo sitting on the throne was looking directly at Twinkle. This red-dressed Klemo's eyes were unmistakably red. Their glow was all too familiar to Junior. I hate demons, Junior growled through gritted teeth, holding Fission in the dual blade state, ready to attack the red-dressed Klemo. Who are you and why are you attacking my city? Twinkle demanded. I am Klemo. Twinkle, demons kill and destroy without cause and reason. They are creatures of hate and animosity. They must be killed on sight. This demon is no different. Demon? Where? The red one sarcastically looked around. Oh, you think I'm a demon? That's cute, brother. The red-dressed Klemo said. Bullshit! Junior screamed, teleporting to the red-dressed Klemo. Junior stabbed his swords through an empty throne chair. Red was already behind Junior, holding a knife to his throat. You make this too easy, Red said, pressing the blade closer to his throat. Try to teleport away, or this knife away from me, and I will strike faster than you can attempt. Ditto, Gray said, holding her own knife to Red's throat from behind. I know you value this, Klemo. My knife is caressing, Red said. Junior remained motionless and silent. A bead of sweat climbed down his face. We value the lives of all Klemos, Magic said, walking over to the three. Twinkle, stay ready. Red continued to hold Junior while Gray continued to hold Red. What are you going to do then, You won't do anything as long as I have him at my mercy, Red said. You won't do anything either, for the same reason, Magic said. Red's arm sigil tattoos altered to green. Interesting tattoo. Magic, of course. If you drop your weapon, then we can talk, Magic reasoned. Why would I do that when I'm about to win this pathetic struggle? Red looked directly at Magic, the opportunity Twinkle was waiting for. Twinkle sneaked to Red's blind side, maneuvering his dagger in place, just inches between Red's daggers and Junior's throat. Red laughed as Twinkle twisted his dagger away from Junior's throat. Junior didn't hesitate. He teleported to the other side of the room. A minor cut was on his throat, not deep, however deep enough to trickle a small amount of blood. Gray adjusted her footing to reaffirm her hold on Red. Twinkle pointed his blades at Red's heart. Red laughed through it all. The green on his arms glowed, and Red passed through their blades without harm. His body became spectral. Gray and Twinkle made eye contact through Red's body. "Shit!" she cursed, stabbing and slashing through Red, slicing the air and having no real effect on the ethereal Klemo. Twinkle jumped back, ready to strike. Magic was already in the middle of casting a spell. Red swung around in between Gray's useless stabbing. During the moment, her weapon was retracting, preparing to thrust again. Red materialized, swinging a sword that was a dagger just a moment ago. Red's sword struck true and sliced through her right arm. The cut was clean. The moment her own blade sliced through, he dematerialized back into an ethereal state. Her severed arm fell to the ground. She let out no scream of pain. Her other arm attempted to strike Red, but passed through him harmlessly. Red turned to strike her again in the exact same fashion. Twinkle interjected, teleporting Gray next to Junior on the other side of the room. "Traverse him!" Magic cast the spell. Their weapons gave a purple glow, lingering over their weapons, wrapping around them, enchanting them further. Red laughed as he blocked Twinkle's attack. The two swords touched even through Red's ethereal state. "Oh, you four are quite resourceful. I am going to thoroughly enjoy consuming you." Twinkle thrust with his other weapon, attempting to stab Red in the heart. A third arm ripped out of Red's shirt, wielding its own long knife, which blocked Twinkle's attack. With Red's free arm, he stabbed in a downward arc to Twinkle. Twinkle teleported back. "Well, 3 of you are useful. That beat-up Klemo holding his neck is not very experienced and quite useless." Red smirked, ripping off the top of his shirt, revealing he had in fact another set of arms just under his normal arms. Red wielded 4 long daggers that, even as he spoke, grew longer. These 2 underarms also had their own set of sigil tattoos. Red's chest and back were covered with both battle scars and additional sigil tattoos. All of his tattoos, however, glowed the same green, which faded to a bluish hue. Red's taunt was successful because Junior teleported to attack exactly like he did before. Red blocked his dual blades with his 2 left arms. Twinkle teleported forward, but this attack from both his weapons were blocked by Red's 2 right arms. Gray, still refusing to give in to the pain, teleported behind Red, attempting to stab him in the back. Red vanished from sight, reappearing on the other side of the room. "This was quite fun, and even though I would probably win," Red teleported around the room, changing his location randomly with each and every word. "I have plenty of time to consume." He teleported next to Junior with his lips pressed to his one good ear. "You." He stayed only long enough to say that final word. Junior swung his swords through the empty space. Red teleported away. "Quickly, track him," Magic commanded. "He's in the next room," Twinkle yelled, teleporting away. Magic and Junior looked at Gray. Their glance required no words. "I'll be fine. I can still fight," she retorted to their unspoken question about her severed arm. The 3 followed Twinkle, teleporting away. They arrived in the next room to see several dozen individuals that looked exactly like Red, with the torn clothing and 4 arms. Twinkle was already swinging his swords, fighting them. He constantly swung and teleported to a new location, every instant just to avoid the constant barrage of this enemy that terribly outnumbered themselves. "Shit!" Junior yelled as he blocked the assault of one of the Reds attacking him. "I think you discovered my terrible secret," one of the Reds mocked. "How is he doing this?" Magic waved his hands, casting a spell that required no words, causing a gust of wind to push the Reds back from the 3. Twinkle teleported to his 3 comrades without hesitation or words. He teleported himself along with his companions far away to another portion of the city. They fell into a room where Twinkle quickly created a small portal directly in front of himself. "No time, go!" The 4 rushed in. Junior looked back as he ran into the portal to see dozens of red Klemos teleporting to the room that Twinkle just took them to. They're tracking our teleports. No one responded to Junior's observation. They didn't need to. The other three already knew that as a Klemo, Red can do this. Gray opened the next portal, pointing her weapon directly in front of them as they exited into the street of the city. Their pace never slowed down. They ran straight into the next portal. The first portal was automatically dismissed the moment Junior, the last companion, passed through. They rushed into the second portal, which magic created within the background all around the city. The tentacles were seen attacking from their terrible hidden places. Twinkle made the third portal. The moment they exited, they rushed in. No one looked behind, but their psychic senses felt the incoming teleports in the Red's pursuit. They exited inside of the same building they rested in earlier. It was Gray's turn to open a portal, and she did not falter in her contribution to the portal chains. They rushed into yet another part of the city. They did this pattern of portal jumping for over 25 minutes, slowly distancing themselves from the Reds, until finally they felt they had evaded their adversaries. The four inspected a secluded room to ensure that they were well hidden and off the radar. I believe we have eluded them for the time being, Magic suggested. The four collapsed onto the floor, exhausted from the overexertion of their psychic talents. Gray began wrapping her arm in a cloth ripped from her shirt under her light chain armor. Magic was assisting by casting minor healing spells he could to aid in her recovery. What was that bastard? She said while continuing to wrap the bandage. Demons. I fucking hate them, Junior said. Magic's hands glowed white as they made contact with Gray. The healing magic flowed. I am not convinced that they were demon-possessed. I am, however, convinced that they were no illusion. I detected no magic that could have fooled us like that. Gray leaned her head back against the wall, allowing magic to do the healing for her. My eyes showed their true form. I concur. They were exactly what we saw. Same here, Junior said. We are no match for that. They were all Klemos, but they were all identical to the Red, Twinkle said. So this Red Klemo is responsible for all of this? Junior said. Magic continued to heal Gray. He did not look up as he responded to Junior. No, that's unlikely. Junior cocked his head in confusion. Why? The portals that are doing all of the damage throughout the city with those tentacles, they have a different psychic signature than Red has, Magic said. You're right, Gray said. Then not only do we have no idea what is destroying our city, but we also have this whole new problem. The appearance of Red cannot be a coincidence, Twinkle said. The four nodded their agreement in the exact same casual fashion. The multiverse is vast and infinite. Klemos come in a great variety. There are an endless number of us. This could very well be a deranged or power-hungry one, Magic said. What do you mean? He's clearly demon-possessed, Junior insisted. Well, friend, from the way he talked to the way he fought to the overwhelming number of them, I do not believe they are demon-possessed. All of those Reds had the same psychic signature, which means they're all the same person, Twinkle said. No one argued that. Gray looked up. I don't care what he is. We're killing him. End of chapter 5.